Reach high, aim high, and obtain. We are going to now process some garlic from our garden. And for those of you that are doing things like this at this time of year, I want to share with you a great way of using all parts of the garlic. Look at this. This is so beautiful. From our garden, these things are huge compared to what we've been getting in the store. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to actually chop this off, and we're going to do something with these long leaves because that's quality garlic pieces, I think, and it'd be absolutely delicious. So to begin, separate the garlic bulb from the garlic tops, spears, scapes. There's a few different terms for it. Now you can see that some of these actually have the seed of the garlic in the leaf. That is okay. I actually ended up using those as well. So I've also found out that the more tops that I use of the garlic, that the darker and the richer in color as well as quality flavor that this sauce turns out to be. So I want to suggest at least 2 cups of fresh organic garlic scapes, top spears in doing this, which you can see I completed chopping. Once that has been completed, then you want to use at least 1 fresh organic garlic bulb with all the pieces peeled and exposed from the original bulb for use. Now this is optional to add the garlic cloves or the full bulb in this instance to the recipe, but I found it gives it a more rounded flavor than without the bulb and the garlic cloves. However, I found that it still works delicious because I did this actually 2 different ways. And this is actually the second way that we found we actually liked better. Flavor-wise, the color was actually richer with this approach, and the flavor was just more savory to us for the dish that I ended up creating to utilize with this sauce. So that is one caveat I do want to add. Once all the garlic has been peeled, we're going to turn our attention to the base of the sauce, which is going to be 3 cups of organic heavy cream and 1 cup of organic whole milk. We actually used raw milk for that particular portion of the milk. I did use my 1 cup measuring cup to actually address this. So I did 3/4 of the heavy cream 4 times, and then I did 1/4 of a cup of the raw milk 4 times as well to create that initial base. You will then want to add the dairy that we have just measured to a large saucepan, and then also add the garlic tops and the garlic cloves, if you've decided to include those, into the pot as well, for then placing on top of the stove for them to all be heated together so that the dairy becomes infused with the flavor as well as the color of all of these ingredients together. Once placed on top of the stove, we're looking to cook everything for approximately 20 minutes on medium heat, basically to get to tender on the ingredients. If only utilizing the garlic scapes, tops, or spears, then the cooking time needs to be reduced to approximately 10 minutes. Otherwise, the garlic cloves themselves will need the full 20 minutes of cooking time to become tender. And then we're going to utilize the Vitamix to then blend all of this together, which you can see me adding the very hot ingredients to my stainless steel Vitamix container so that we can thoroughly pulverize everything to get a very smooth, rich base to start with. I do use the smoothie creation option when I'm using my Vitamix blender to ensure that I get that smooth, creamy, delicious, smooth sauce results, which I then poured back into our saucepan for next steps. So make sure that it's thoroughly processed in a container that can handle the heat from the stove, as well as ensuring that it will provide that smooth consistency of all the ingredients being well thoroughly blended together. before turning the heat back on to begin next steps processing of creating our delicious sauce. You'll need to get some organic arrowroot flour, and we're going to add 4 tablespoons of organic arrowroot flour to the pot before, and this is the critical part, before turning on any heat. Once the 4 tablespoons of the organic arrowroot flour have been added to our created sauce from the blender, then we can safely turn the heat back on, and then you want to immediately begin whisking this and be continuing to whisk all of this together until the sauce creates your desired thickness. A great way to ensure this is by taking a spoon and dipping it into the sauce once you notice the texture beginning to change from the original very liquidy consistency. What you're looking for is for the back of the spoon to be perfectly coated. In other words, if it runs off the back of the spoon too much, it's too watery. If it's too much of a thick layering, it's too much, it's too thick. You're looking for that perfect balance. Once that balance has been achieved, then you want to add your favorite salt to taste, like a Celtic Sea Salt or pink Himalayan salt, basically a quality salt. And then you want to taste the sauce again and continue adding the salt until you reach the flavoring that you are looking for. Once that's been achieved, then we go to next steps. Once the sauce has been completed, as it's reached the desired consistency, then it can be added to a serving dish such as a gravy container, as I am doing here in the image, to get a beautiful, easy serve and display container. And you can see me cleaning it up for presentation. And then once that's occurred, then you can enjoy this delicious sauce.
Every single person who watches this video has the power to change someone else's life today. Subscribing to TaylorIt takes 1 second, but creates a ripple that reaches people across the entire world. Hit like, share this with someone who needs it, and drop your location in the comments, because seeing where our community reaches genuinely excites us. Together, we are building something real. Join us and help others find this too.